Hi, it's Robert Mitchell at the 2012 Toronto International Film Festival. We're here at Midnight Madness for the world premiere of Hellbenders.
You're listening to a demo from StopMusic.net.
It's an exorcism comedy.
And it's a lot of genres and tones that going on there. How'd you come up with the idea of the film?
I mean, I guess a lot of it comes from just watching a lot of exorcism movies, and like a lot of them come to the same kind of idea. Like the priest always has to sacrifice himself, and making what sort of a subtext there explicit, I think, becomes comedy. And once you start thinking of exorcism as comedy, it kind of gets hard for me to think about it elsewise.
You've worked with Clancy Brown before in The Burrowers. What do you like about him as an actor?
I like how he keeps making the same mistake of working with me. Like, I don't know. I mean, like Clancy, I grew up with as like an icon. I mean, like I was just felt, you know, shocked and lucky and honored that he wanted to work with me the first time. And a lot of casting him in Hellbenders was like getting to know him through the process of Burrowers and realizing that he could do so much more than the kind of like heavy that he always plays in everything else. Like there's a lot of humor and a lot of just sort of like weird depth that you don't get to see a lot. And I really think Hellbenders is like a way for Clancy to shine.
Clancy Brown, welcome back to Midnight Madness.
So happy to
We really loved you in The Burrowers.
Oh, I love doing the Burrowers. I'll do anything for JT. Really good.
I was wondering, obviously you worked with JT before. What do you like about him as a director?
Well, he has the best scripts so far. You know, he wrote Burrowers and he wrote this one, and he called me up and he said, I have no money, but I have this script, and I have a great part for you. And then I read it, and I said, all right, I guess I have to do it.
This would be obviously your first film you shot in 3D. Was there a learning curve to that? Did you do some testing in that, or how did that work?
Yeah, so one of our production facilities was off Hollywood, and they're sort of one of the premier 3D houses for the East Coast. So right from the start, we could use the cameras and play around with stuff and sort of see how it goes. Yeah, no, and we had a great stereographer, this guy, Alonzo Holmes. You know, he's since gone on. I think the movie he did right after Hellbenders was Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby. So he had a lot to do in terms of sort of like how to creatively use depth in the movie and how to like draw things out and crunch things together.
Can you talk a bit about the character?
Yeah, he's a soldier I wouldn't say he's a soldier for Christ, but he's a soldier against evil. He's a soldier with Christ. He sort of considers himself on a par, and the boys of the order are on a par. We are the partners of Jesus and God and Buddha and all the things that are good in the world against all of the things that are bad. And frankly, you know, if they didn't have us, we would all not be here, or we would all be in a different existence.
So they're heroes.
Yeah, oh yeah, no question, and committed to maintaining sacrificing themselves to sin and debauchery in order for the betterment of humanity, which is quite a commitment to make.
The special effects in the movie are pretty phenomenal. Can you talk about the team that you worked with on that?
Yeah, we had both practical effects were by Brian Spears, who's had some Midnight Madness movies before. He did Stakeland a couple years back, and he's like Glass Eye Picks, the Larry Fessenden people, like he's their go-to guy. And then in post-production, we had a company called Molecule, which is a New York effects house, and a lot of what they've done in the past has been TV, and they're sort of transitioning more into features now. I mean, they had work in Beasts of the Southern Wild. They do Rescue Me, which is good for us because we've got a shit ton of fire effects in the movie. So,
how did you prepare for this role?
Sense memory, mostly. We didn't have much time to shoot it and not much time to prepare, so I got a chance to read up a lot. But you know, we were pretty much filming, and then when I wasn't filming, if I was younger, I probably would have whored around a little bit more and done more drugs and gotten drunk. But I'm older now, and I after work I would just fall asleep. You know.
When you were writing the film, were you seeing it in 3D, or is that something that when you started in pre-production and planning, trying to get the money for the film, that you started saying maybe we should do this in 3D?
Yeah, no, we knew it was 3D from the start. And honestly, I mean, a lot of that came about through opportunity as much as creative intent. But yeah, I mean, right from the beginning, I was always thinking about the sort of visual construction of the movie in terms of 3D. But it was real conscious that I didn't want to make a gimmick movie. I mean, I feel like we're in sort of a dangerous place for what 3D is right now, where people are disappointed if you're not a gimmick, and they're disappointed if you are a gimmick. And so you've got all these movies that are kind of like towing the line and throwing ping pong balls in your face and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't give that, because I feel like 3D is essentially like color or depth of field or like anything that you're going to use to tell a story. Well, and it's a tool. I mean, you can actually change the interocular distance of somebody's experience of watching it, which is physically impossible in life. So it's like, it's one more thing. I mean, it's like editing. It's something that would be impossible in just real experience, but that doesn't mean that 90 minutes has to mean 90 minutes. Like, you know, it's a tool.
You're listening to a demo